We all have once thought, why do we need product names for processors? Wouldn't it be simpler to label them with how many gigahertz they run at and call it a day? It could be sort of simpler, but actually even more confusing. For example, when the Pentium 4 launched, an equally clocked Pentium 3 was actually faster because it could do more work with each cycle. As a consumer, we obviously would expect the product with higher number to be the better one, and this exactly is the problem. Not all megahertz and gigahertz are created equal, and rating products that way is like rating the performance of a car based on what RPM the engine runs at, which is not actually an indication of how fast the car is. A Core i3 will be your most basic option with 2 processing cores and hyper-threading. It will have a smaller cache and consume less power. It will generally perform worse than a Core i5, but it costs less, which leads us to Core i5. Normal Core i5 generally have 2 cores and hyper-threading, while desktop ones have 4 cores and no hyper-threading. But what they all have in common is improved onboard graphics and turbo boost for temporary performance enhancements when your system needs a little more power. With power in mind, Core i7. All Core i7s have hyper-threading for heavy workloads. A Core i7 can have anywhere from 2 processors in an ultrabook all the way up to 8 in a workstation. It might support 2 to 8 sticks of memory, and it can have a TDP all the way up to 130 watts, giving a ton of variety. Core i7 tend to have more cache, faster turbo boost, and better onboard graphics than lower tier processors. So the Core i7 gives some of the best features Intel has to offer, with the drawback of a higher price tag. Guys, if you're enjoying the video, do subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon for more exclusive content just like this. So to sum it up, all the I followed by the numbers represents good, better, best within a given segment. Beyond that, on their own, they are pretty much meaningless. The numbers and the letters afterwards somewhat mean something if you use the guide from before, but the safest way to shop is to look at the features, core counts and clock speeds of the CPUs you are comparing to figure out how they stack up. With the good news being that as long as you compare from within a brand and within the same product generations, those metrics will actually mean something.